guys, so it is World Wildlife Day today, and I thought as a wildlife enthusiast and lover I would share some information about a select few animals that I personally love. Now I'm not going to go with my favourite animals because they include orca and grey wolves. I do love these guys as well, but I'm going to talk about some lesser known animals. So I do have some cheat sheets in my notebook about I think I picked about 4 animals. It's really hard to pick sometimes, but let's get into it. So the first one I have here, that I've actually wrote in the back of this notebook, so give me a second, is the aye-aye. The aye-aye is a species that is indigenous to Madagascar. It only exists there, nowhere else in the world. I'm not going to try and pronounce the Latin term. Sorry if I keep looking down at my notes. I'll try and, I should probably put them, no, okay. I'm going to be looking down at my notes. So, head and body length, I seem to have missed that out. Well done me. But its tail can reach up to, oh, there we go. Head and body length gets to about 14 to 17 inches, and its tail reaches 22 to 24 inches, weighing at about 4 lbs. Its lifespan is about 20 to 23 years in captivity and 20 in the wild. It is sexually mature at 3 years old. They reproduce every 2 to 3 years. And I particularly love the aye-aye because everyone says it's ugly. In Malagasy culture, the aye-aye is seen as a, what is going on with my friend, as a bad omen or a sign of death, and will be killed and hung upside, killed on sight and hung upside down, which doesn't help its conservation status. Its diet, it's an omnivore, so it eats grubs, breadfruit, bananas, nectar, mangoes, nuts and lychees and things like that. It is the only primate to use sonar location. The aye-aye has an elongated index finger, and it will tap on a tree, and if it feels the vibrations and the tree is hollow, it will then put its finger into the tree in a hole or something to get out the grubs or whatever is inside. So like I said, they're endemic to Madagascar, and they're found in the northeastern rainforests, so that's of Madagascar along the coast. When I was there, I got rather overexcited to see a tree that an aye-aye had been feeding from. We didn't see any, but it had eaten from that tree. It was pretty cool. Aye-aye are nocturnal. Their gestation period, so pregnancy period, is 160 to 170 days. They have 1 infant, which is quite common with primates. They're raised in a nest, which is sort of rounded and closed with 1 entrance hole, and they're there for about 2 months. They're weaned at 7 months, and then they go off and find their own territory at about 2 years old. In 1957, the aye-aye was believed to be extinct, but now its conservation status is threatened. Okay, so that is my first one. I picked the aye-aye because I think they're so ugly, they're cute, and they need some recognition and some love because, you know, they're cute. Okay, another one I have here is something that I got to, I wouldn't say work with, but I did get to feed at the zoo when I volunteered there, and it is the maned wolves, or the foxes on stilts as called. I can't think of the word I was looking for now. Never mind. So there's about 23,600 left in the wild, which makes them near threatened on all the statuses I'm telling you here are from CITES, which is the official list and things like that. They can reach 1 meter in height, foxes on stilts, so pretty tall. They weigh 20 to 25 kilograms. Now I keep saying foxes on stilts, and they're called that because, let's see if I can get a picture, because I don't know if I'll be able to edit, because I'm stuck at editing, so let's see if we can do that. Just so that you can definitely see one. Give me a second. Okay, here we are. That's a really good leggy picture there. We'll do that. Okay, so I hope that picture can be seen properly, but that is a maned wolf. Now you can see why they're called foxes on stilts. Look at them legs. They are supermodels. Look at that. So they're beautiful, and I did get to meet them at the zoo, and they're just. They're found in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, and Peru. And their habitat is grasslands and scrub forests. And as you can imagine, their diet is small mammals, cuis, which is wild guinea pig, rabbits, and rodents. They also eat sugarcane, fruits, and other plants. And their main threat is due to reduction of habitat, which is a common trend for most of the animals on this list. Unfortunately, deforestation and loss of habitat. Okay, so the next guy here, I don't want to go too quick through these, but at the same time, I don't want this to get boring and too long. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you're interested. And it is World Wildlife Day, so we could all do with learning about some incredible wildlife. So let's look. I will just be using my phone to find pictures for you. Okay, so my third choice is an animal I actually studied for one of my college homework essay things, and it is this fabulous creature here, which I have heard is at Chester Zoo. I haven't been yet, but I want to go see one, and it is the okapi. Now, when you look at the okapi, the big question is it a giraffe or is it part zebra? Because they are very, very tall. They live in rainforests, so let's get into a bit more. So the males have horns that get to about 15 centimeters long. In height, they're about 1.5 meters, and they're about 2.5 meters in length. And they have that lovely chocolate brown colour with the zebra stripes on their back and legs. And they live in northeastern Dominican Republic of Congo. That is quite a mouthful. Let's try and get this to go smoothly. Okay, so their gestation period, so that's their pregnancy period, is about 440 days. And in captivity, they can live up to 30 years. Now, these guys are extremely elusive in the wild. Not much is known about them, so we don't know how long they live in the wild. Their diet is leaves, shoots, buds, grasses, fruits, ferns, and fungi. They have a tongue like a giraffe, so a big, long purple tongue to reach higher up. They are solitary animals. Their main threats, guess, take it out. Won't give you any money for guessing. It is deforestation and poaching, and they are near threatened. Like I said, there's not a lot known about the okapi apart from the ones in captivity because it is so elusive. But they are just fascinating, and I would urge anyone to look up any of these animals and do a little bit more homework on them yourselves because they are incredible. So this is my second from last choice, and it was one that I got to see when I went to Madagascar. Now I did have my scrapbook ready for this guy. Where is it? There it is. Sorry guys. Today, no, I want to be a unicorn today. Let's be a unicorn. So this guy is the greater bamboo lemur. We were extremely lucky to see one when we went to Madagascar, and you'll soon find out why. We were in the Ranomafana National Park, which is where we saw them. And our guide, incredibly, was the man who helped set it up. There are, and this is why we were so lucky to see two of them, 100 to 160 left. There are only two national parks in which they're protected, so Ranomafana and Andring Itra. And I'm not ashamed to say that when we sat and watched them, me and one of the ladies I met in my group sat and cried, because you are sat watching two animals. Well, we saw two that not only are you lucky to see, because these guys don't normally come out of the part of rainforest where tourists aren't allowed, and they just sat eating bamboo, and you watch them and you think there's literally like 160 left, and they sat right in front of me. I can't tell you how that felt. It's sad. It's incredible, but it's very, very sad. And it is something that I won't forget. One day, it might come up on the news that, like, rhino species and tiger species and even lions now, it's gone. And I saw it. And unfortunately, we can protect them, but unless big changes happen, you can't turn back time. Anyway, so I've missed out height and weight on here, but I do have it in my scrapbook that I made. So, the great bamboo lemur, the lifespan is about 17 years. They get 39.1 to 45 centimeters in height and up to 2.32 kilograms, obviously give or take. And that is for that guy. Also in here that I haven't wrote about there, but I want to give a little name to, is the Indri, who we could hear calling from where we stayed. Now, again, I'm going to show you my scrapbook. She's going to love me for showing this picture, but there's a lovely lady here, one of my lovely friends. And you can see this behind her, and she's sort of bent down a bit, and that was a type of Indri, the giant Indri or something like that. It was almost the height of a person, and it is now extinct. But I just thought I'd give a shout out to that. So I will show you my lovely picture of the great bamboo lemur. It's not the best picture, but it's this guy here. And the light's coming in from my window. Okay. But it's not the guy there. It's a bit shiny, you can't really see. It's got Margesi currency falling up. Let's have a look. So they have one offspring, and they're weaned at 8 months old, and they are polygamous, which means that they have more than one mate. They eat flowers, leaves, seeds, fruit, but primarily bamboo. And the reason for their threat is, again, habitat loss. There's that lovely common trend coming along. Slash and burn culture, which is where farmers in Madagascar, and it is one of the leading causes of the reason that animals are dying out there, is where they will cut down parts of rainforest and burn it to put up farming and things like that. So that's banana farming. Bamboo farming is obviously a big one because their main diet is bamboo. They are active day and night, and live in groups. Did I find that? The lifespan is, I've already said that. Live in groups of, I didn't write it down, can't find it. But they are critically endangered and have been listed that that was CITES 2014 made them critically endangered, and I don't think it's changed since then, unfortunately. But I found myself extremely lucky to have seen them. Okay, and the last guy on my list is a marine mammal. It is a porpoise, and it is one of the rarest species of mammal. I think it is the rarest, yep, the world's rarest mammal. It is the vaquita, and it is a porpoise. Porpoise is sort of like a dolphin, but stubbier. And I believe I read that porpoise stands for pig something. I can't tell you a ball of information, but yeah. So these guys, I'll give you a second to take a guess of how many there might be left in the wild. This is the world's rarest mammal. So there are 30 left in the wild. 30. 30 in the whole world. That is an estimate because it is so hard to determine because they are so rare. But there are about 30 left in the wild. Again, all these numbers are estimates, but they are good estimates from the websites I got information from were mainly WWF and Primate Protection and things like that. So they are coming from reputable places. So their main cause for their main threats, words, are because they are a byproduct of fishing, illegal fishing, like gill nets. A byproduct means that it's not even them the fishermen want. It means that they get caught up in nets and drown, and they're not even the product that was being fished for. They are also hunted because their gill bladders, which is what helps fish float and swim, are sold on the Chinese market as medicine. Same as tiger paws and gorilla hands and all these things. But their main thing is that they are a byproduct of illegal fishing, which is just, not only are they being hunted, well, not even that, not only are they dying, but they're just being thrown away because they're not, like, your bluefin tuna is endangered because people are fishing for too much bluefin tuna. The vaquita are just getting caught up in nets and drowning for no reason. No reason's good enough anyway, but I don't know. It's just, it's horrible. So they feed off ocean fish and sometimes squid. Their gestation period, so their pregnancy period, is 11 months and they nurse for 7 months. They don't migrate, so they live in the same area, and they live in the northern end of Mexico's Gulf of California. They reach 5 foot long and can weigh up to 120 lbs. And they give birth every 2 years-ish, and they tend to live in groups of 2 or 3. And lifespan of 21 years, but again, it's not certain. It's very, very difficult to tell when there's so few. And as you can see, I have not got much at all compared to some of the others. I mean, I had 2 pages worth. That is barely a page. So they are, I think that was 5. Was that 5? They are a selection of animals I wanted to share. It's World Wildlife Day, So let's talk wildlife, let's talk conservation. In my time, I have had look beyond words to meet conservationists and biologists and keepers and lovers and enthusiasts and volunteers and rangers and people who are working hard or studying hard to protect these animals and these species. Some, like the vaquita, I would say are past, well, they are past protecting, 30 left, unless you're going to inbreed and inbreed and inbreed. There's not much to be done. But on the upside, there are other populations and species of animal that are there to be saved. Tiger populations have gone up, which is incredible news. Some rhino species populations have gone up, but we have to keep going with it. We have to keep talking conservation. We have to keep that going, keep the conversation going, and get people interested in loving these animals, which is why when I go to places like Madagascar, I enjoy so much doing talks and putting things together and showing people and sharing stories, like when I saw the greater bamboo lemur, because it makes it real. Reading it off a page in a book, it's facts, but it's not real. It's not experience, it's not something tangible, whereas somebody saying, I saw this and it's dying, and it may never ever, it won't, once it's gone, has a bit more of an impact, I think. So that is a selection of animals. To end that on a happy note, we can help species and we can bring them back from the edge, because the world would be nothing without them. Wildlife is what makes this planet so incredible, and we need it. Save the bees. Do what you can for those guys. The bees pollinate, I think it's something like 75% of our crops. Fruits, food, anything. Like, a lot would be lost without them. So we must protect what we can. Saving the bees is something quite easy to do. Try not to use pesticides. If you find a bee in trouble, give it some sugar water, not honey. If you give a bee honey, it can get disease from the bee that produced the honey. So do not give bees honey. Give them some sugar water, put them somewhere safe until they recover, and then they will fly off to another plant or what have you. I am known for being the strange girl who picks bees up off the path, carries them home, and gives them sugar water. But I would rather be that person. Be that person, do you get it? So that is it for this video, guys. I hope it was a decent one. I hope it was interesting and I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed sharing because, like I said, I love these animals, and it's what I'm interested in, as you well know. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, keep warm, and survive the beast from the east. Bye, guys.